Disorders, something that can form later on in life or you're born with it. People don't get to choose what their disorder is or how they are going to manage it. Some people have it worse off than others. And if you have a really bad disorder that may be rare, you may have to deal with it every single day of your life, and you may feel lonely, like you don't have anyone else to relate to. I have felt like that for a long time, since I was very young, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. Do you know what the word DID means, or what it stands for, or how it affects others and that person's loved ones? It affects me in my day-to-day life, and in this video I am willing to share my experience with it, and I will also be interviewing two of my bestest friends that have known me for a long time. So scratch the part off where I said that my two friends are going to be answering some questions and stuff. It's actually just going to be my sister, because one of my friends just was too lazy to do it, and then my other friend, her answers were absolute crap. So I got my sister to answer them instead, and I got some pretty good answers out of them. Let's see what she said. My reaction to you having this disorder didn't really surprise me, due to the fact that we have family members that also have mental illnesses. Looking back on your childhood, I do believe you showed characteristics of someone that possibly had a personality disorder. You would often make up your own worlds to cope. Also, through your artwork, you would make up different personalities. I absolutely believe people that have had traumatic experiences physically or mentally may develop other personalities and make up other worlds in order to cope with it. I would tell anyone that thinks this disorder is fake to do their research before judging who has it or not. You all are probably wondering, what is DID? DID stands for Dissociative Identity Disorder, formerly known as Multiple Personality Disorder. This disorder has been stigmatized throughout the years with movies such as Glass, and the most commonly known one, Split, where they are turned into horrific scenes and turned into murderers to make people that actually have this disorder look crazy and murderous. But we are indeed not murderous, and we are very harmless. DID is a split personality disorder where when a child is traumatized from a very young age and abuse just keeps continuing and continuing on, eventually their mind splits apart into different fragments and personalities. A child doesn't have their personality fully formed yet until the age of about 9. And if trauma happens over and over and over again and significant abuse happens, then that child's mind doesn't have the opportunity to form together to form one cohesive personality. There are differences between DID and a thing called OSDD 1B and 1A. I personally have OSDD 1B, so I do not have dissociative identity disorder, but it is very close to it, and the only reason why I do not have dissociative identity disorder is because I do not fit all the criteria to be diagnosed. I am missing one criteria, which is crucial in order to be diagnosed with DID. I am missing my memory gaps. Usually people with this disorder, big memory gaps in their day-to-day life, and they don't remember anything that they have done. And so they have significant amnesia, whereas I don't have any amnesia between me and my alters. I have a system, which a system is me and my group of alters, and you call it a system because we work together in order to live happily. I have 7 other alters that are living in my body. I am the host, which means I am out 90% of the time, and I take care of day-to-day life and functioning. All of my alters know of each other, and I know of them, and we can communicate very easily. There's a thing called co-consciousness. Think of it as like a car. When you're in the front seat driving the wheel of the car, you're in full control. You know exactly what's happening, and you have control over everything. The car is your body. You have control over it, and no one else can take that. Then the passenger seat. The passenger seat, if you have a passenger there, can tell you things and have a little bit of influence on where the car goes or does. Like put the music on or tell you to stop at a stop sign. It's like having a friend giving you advice on what you should do next. Then there is the back seats, where you don't really have much opinion and you don't really get to voice your opinions to the driver and the passenger. You are along for the ride and you don't really know what's going on. All you know is that you're moving. That's most of my alters right now. They know vaguely what's going on, but they have no control over the situation. Then there's the very, very back. And there, you don't have any control and you won't remember anything. It's like you've been knocked out and put into the very trunk of a car. That's what it's like to be in the very, very back of my mind. As I said before, I have 7 other people that I'm sharing my body with. Let's start with me. Of course, I'm Avery. You all know me. I am the main host. I am the one that you see at school. I'm the one that you talk to at school and are most likely friends with. Then there is Scarlett. She identifies as female and she is 19, but her brain does not really catch up with her body. She still acts like she is 5 years old and she is stuck in that timestamp. Then there is Bug. Bug is a new one and we don't know much about her, but all we know is that she's between the ages of 3 or 4 and she has black hair and she's just a regular little child. We just discovered her, so we don't know much about her, I'm sorry. Then there's Phoenix. She is a 6'2" elf that is also African American, so she does not identify with the race of this body, which is very tough for her. And she is also a witch and she does witchcraft and spells and works a lot in the gardens in our inner world. And there is Sophie. She is actually mute, so we have never heard her talk before. And if we ever do a video introducing all of the alters and stuff, she would not be able to take part in it because she is mute. Now she can talk, but she just prefers not to because it's a scary thing for her. Then there's Felix, a very hyperactivity boy, and he is a sexual protector, which means if I were to be introduced to sexual encounters and stuff like that I don't want, he would take control of my body and be able to get out of that situation. Then there is Kai. Kai is actually a werewolf and he hates being called that, but it is true. He has a human form and a wolf form, and he pretty much looks like a hero in a video game. He's very muscular and he's 6 foot and he's very, very intimidating. And then there is also Emmy, which she is kind of like Kai's girlfriend, but they're not exclusive yet. They prefer not to be called boyfriend and girlfriend, but they are special to each other and they hang out all the time. So that is all of my alters. I want to do a video eventually on me and my alters just doing introductions and seeing how it goes. And if this video is perceived well, then we will carry on. The main reason why I wanted to talk about my experience with this disorder is because no one really knows about it. This disorder came at a very young age and there's nothing I could do about it. I don't control this disorder. If I could, I would get rid of this disorder, but I can't. And that's just something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. But you know what? I'm pretty content right now. Thank you.